Hello, MCCI Professional Services team. This short training is going to walk you through a few important parts of projects in ConnectWise, things that we'll have to pay attention to. After logging in to ConnectWise, come over to Project. Come over to Project Board would be a great way, or My Projects, your choice. In this case, I'm doing Project Board. I'm going to change it over to No View so I can get all projects. I'm going to then sort it by project ID. And the reason why is because I'm going to be looking for a particular project. And in this case, it's going to be, I believe, 36, which is Brownsville. Once I click on the project itself, a couple things come to mind. One, the overview. Number one, you have the project name. And if you recall from Asana, what's happening is we name the Asana projects by a couple different things. One, we name it by the project number that's in ConnectWise. In this case, it's 36. Then there's a dash. Then there's the client name. Client name, Brownsville Public Utilities Board. Dash. And then the project name that's been typed in. Consulting services, and so on. That's how the Asana project name is created. Next, a couple of things you'll have to pay attention to for updates. One is you will need to update a few things, and I'll bring it over here. In this particular case, in blown up fashion, you'll need to have your status updated from in progress, which is the way it is assigned when it comes to you, if it becomes complete or on hold, things like that. Second, you will also have to have this updated, your estimated end time. When do you anticipate the project completing? Third, percentage complete. What is the percentage? What is it? How are you going to figure that out? That is going to be an item of, say, 50%, 25%. At this time, it is your educational guess on what that percentage is. Next, project kickoff. When was or when is the project kickoff scheduled for? And the reason why these dates are important is through reporting at the end of the month, we need to understand when the project came in, which is the estimated start date. That's what's going to be there when the project gets entered into ConnectWise. Next is when you put in the project kickoff date. Then there's a calculation of how many days occurred between when it was entered, estimated start date, and when the kickoff happened, project kickoff. That gives us the number of days lag time, just so you're aware of why we're doing that. The next thing that you'll have to do also is update on the finance tab you see here, which is in the project view, your estimated hours. This should be done at the very beginning of the project. Or in this case, since we're moving projects from BIS to ConnectWise, these hours will need to be entered. They were not automatically transferred. Okay, moving on. The other thing that you want to know is, so who is my contact for this client? In the project tab itself, you'll see the name here if it's entered. If there's no name entered, you can select one if you're aware of who that is by doing the down arrow, and it'll give you a list of all the people that have been entered for that particular client. All right. And then the next piece over here is the work plan. The work plan and the Gantt chart are very similar. It's really about different views doing the same thing. A work plan is what is being entered from finance on what opportunities we have to complete, as in phases, for billing. One item of note, in this particular case, is a TNM NTE project, which means we will be billing it accordingly as we accomplish items. Now, when there is a fixed fee project, there may be more phases, and each phase has its own billing mechanism. So it's up to us to come in and change this status of this phase so that when it goes from open to close, then the client can be billed accordingly. And you can do that by clicking on that checkbox for that list and then coming down to update phase status and choose your appropriate level of status. I'm not going to do it here. Actually, I will choose open because that's what it is, and hit save. It will update the status and then you close the window. If you chose closed, then it's going to kick off the next billing procedure for that client for that project. Gantt chart is really more of a visual to understand how many hours were budgeted and used for each phase. Another item that you may want to look in and see if it has been entered is the attachment. In earlier training videos, I mentioned we are not adding attachments for saving into ConnectWise. Instead, we are including links into these areas where the Laserfiche contract is being stored. Moving through the Team tab. The Team tab is where you, as the project lead for this project, will enter in who is part of this project and what is their role. This is important for visual and ease of use for your team to see what is going on with the project and tasks and phases associated with it. Moving to contacts, it is the standard contact that has been entered for this client. Doesn't mean that there's only one contact. As you saw earlier, you can see other contacts, but this is the main. And moving forward to invoices, products, and so on, we will cover those later in a separate training video. Thank you.